Hello guys, Matthew here and welcome back again to the TechTick YouTube channel. After trying out MSI's Gaming X and Gigabyte's G1 Gaming Edition of Nvidia's recently released GeForce GTX 1050 Ti graphics card, today I am putting and trying out the final piece of the puzzle, that being the Asus Strix version of that same GTX 1050 Ti series. Taking a closer look at the box, on the front you can see a picture of the graphics card itself, coupled with the sticker notion of included 15-day free premium account for World of Warship game. While going to the back, you will come across onto a detailed overview of features and technical specifications in regards of this particular model, like direct CO2 fan and cooler design and Aura RGB lighting feature. Opening up the box, finally, beside the user manual and optical disc with drivers and software, you will get some bundle in a form of ROG Velcro straps and some stickers to put onto the card's cooler. And here's the graphics card itself. Right away you can probably recognize this very familiar Strix cooler design, which has been present on this generation of Pascal-based graphics cards and even AMD's RX series. Of course, this one dealing with some minor changes in size and cooling capacity. On the outside we have this very angular and rough cut design pattern of plastic cover shell, while on the top you will find this very small glowing ROG RGB logo. Since the GP107 isn't a high TDP GPU, Asus put onto it a pretty normal sized aluminum heatsink with two 8mm heat pipes running through it and coming around from the GPU, with which they are in direct contact. As you can notice, there is no additional cooling components on their custom Super Alloy Power 2 power design or video memory, just these two 95mm wing blade fans blowing over them. Turning the card onto the other side, you can see that we have this big and before all very cool looking metal backplate, which is always a great bonus for the end user, especially with this kind of highlights. Coming to the back end of the card, you will find one 6-pin PCI Express power connector, an Asus Fan Connect feature, or to be more precise, a 4-pin PWM header, which lets you connect an additional system fan, which is then controlled by the GPU itself depending on its temperature. Lastly, on the front end for video outputs we have one DisplayPort, one HDMI and two DVI-Ds. Of course, this model comes in factory overclocked, clocking in at 1380 MHz of base frequency in Asus gaming mode, while OC mode bumps it up just a little bit more than that. Speaking of the overclocking, putting the card onto my benchmarking configuration and turning everything on, first I've checked out its potential in that field. As you can see, it clocks pretty decently, and these settings in front of you brought me maximal stable values across the board. This particular sample tops out at around 1936 MHz on the GPU, that's thanks to Nvidia's GPU Boost 3.0 technology, while the memory sits at just a bit above the 2100 MHz mark. Taking a look at the benchmarking results, you can see that I was getting pretty much your usual overall performance figures when it comes to GeForce GTX 1050 Ti series. It is ideal for 1080p gaming at high graphical settings. You'll even get over 60 FPS in some titles which are better optimized, especially when you count in the overclocking. 16:9 1440p resolution gaming is also possible, judging by the figures which I was getting for my 21:9 native resolution of my monitor.
Experience tranquility.
Cooling wise, the GPU was barely crossing over 55 degrees Celsius mark under Firmax stress test, with fans spinning at around 1000 RPM and with ambient temperature being around 21 to 22 degrees Celsius. The same fan speed was seen when playing games, often they would even turn off, while temperatures were roaming anywhere from 50 to 57 degrees Celsius. In both scenarios the card was whisper quiet, and that's on an open test bed. I could hardly hear anything. Idle temperature was just below 40 degrees Celsius, which is a bit higher compared to its main rivals, but nothing too alarming, while the card was of course dead silent since the fans don't spin at all in that case. Finally, as a cherry on the top, you can set the color and lighting effect of the ROG logo on the card's cooler using this separate software, which is very easy and straightforward, utilizing your standard options when it comes to this feature. That's it guys for this time from me. Thank you once again for checking out the unboxing and review of the Asus GTX 1050 Ti Strix graphics card. Feel free to toss me a thumbs up if you like this video, it helps me a lot. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions about the product, and of course if you would like to see more content like this you can subscribe to the TechTick YouTube channel, or you can just check out some of my other videos from before.